Good morning. Bill put on this talk show this morning of people eating hot wings while they're being interviewed with ever increasing levels of hot. And it brought to mind how we keep doing stuff that isn't good for us over and over and over again, even though we know. And we don't stop. And we're sitting there the whole time going, eyes watering, and we still do it. So that's what we're going to talk about this morning on Morning Meditation. Good morning, I'm Ann Morrison, and this is Ascension Studios. So with allergies and things like that, I am all over the place at the moment. I don't know if you know, but I do this live on Instagram every morning at 7:30. Today, I'm a little late because of allergy stuff going a little cray-cray all over the place, and in putting together a hormone balance for a menopausal person like me. And so I woke up and I thought, what I'd really like is one of those little Frappuccino Starbucks things. And then I remembered, yes, they're lovely. They taste wonderful. They taste like the condensed milk coffee with sugar that my grandmother used to have in the mornings. And she would let me take a few sips. And it was lovely. And it was that wonderful nostalgia feeling, even though they're cold, and they're great cold. But then I thought, oh, yeah, well, I get a little bloated. And then I get a bit of a sugar crush, which means I get a little bit of a crash afterwards. So I have to kind of pick myself back up again. And then I started going through what it is that actually does to me. Like, I love having one little tiny 12-ounce Pepsi a day. And I've gone a few days without, and I miss the regularity of it, but feeling-wise, I feel better when I don't have it. And where is it that in your life you could be doing something that is much healthier, and instead you are choosing this thing that makes you uncomfortable? It's like cheese. Cheese used to be wonderful because I didn't need blocks and blocks and blocks of it. Now, I sit and release blocks and blocks and blocks of it, if you know what I mean. And so, after having given up cheese and cut down on Pepsi and cut down on Starbucks, and what does happen to your taste buds and your desires? They change. We brought back this wonderful chocolate from Mexico that uses 100% of the whole bean in a circle. And I've never been a fan of dark chocolate. It's about as dark as you can get. And it's starting to grow on me. And changing to something that is better for you, healthier for you. And that's the reason for doing the dark chocolate. I like chocolate. And I would like to eat it, but I would like to eat it in a way that's healthier. So, little by little, I am acclimating myself to eating the full cocoa bean, 100% chocolate. And it takes a while. I've always loved water with lemon in it, so that part's pretty easy. As far as something to replace the Pepsi and the drinks and what have you. Where is it? Go ahead and just write something down there. Where is it that right now you are making a change by adding something? It's so much easier to make a change when you add something instead of take something away. Although so many changes that we require take something away. Like when I took away cigarettes and I blew up and hit menopause and all that at the same time. But if you can make a change, like your eating habits and your exercise habits, with adding one little thing, then just like we do when we are dealing with our own emotional blockages based upon trauma and other things that have happened to us in our lives, it washes out the need, the want for that other thing. When you come back and you have that other thing again, after a year, not tomorrow, it's not the same. And it doesn't taste the same and it doesn't feel the same. Now, there are a lot of things out there in this day and age that are disguised as healthy and seem like they couldn't be that much harm. And the truth is, our food industry really sucks. And you have to be careful and you have to be diligent to be able to get things that truly are healthy, especially if they're processed in any way, shape, or form. I mean, even down to a cracker. You got all sorts of crap in there, not to mention anything that you might want to put on a cracker. So, little by little, you add a healthier option in. And little by little, an unhealthy option falls off. Now, the quitting smoking thing, I did cold turkey because I'm crazy. And it's been 3 years, and I don't have a desire for a cigarette now, which is nice, because I smoked for a long time. Another thing is don't loathe yourself, don't hate yourself, if you start disparaging yourself because of something that you are moving forward and intending to change, you're basically putting your forward progress on halt or reversing it. So give yourself a little bit of credit for being human, for having mistakes being a very important part of our existence, and then you keep up with the adding. You add in a little bit of good chocolate, and you add in a little bit of nuts, and you add in a little bit of fruit, and you go forward, add in a little bit of organic chicken, you add in a little bit of, for vegetarians, of organic tofu. You keep making choices that make you feel better and doing them regularly until they become the habit. And you find yourself on the other end feeling pretty good. When we went snorkeling, I had a hard time because of my size and the fact that I've lost some muscle mass being this size, and moving around in the Atlantic Ocean and getting on and off a little tiny boat, and it was really embarrassing, to tell you the truth. And then I forgave myself. Yeah, but you still went and did it, and you still made it through it, and you still lived your life, and we're going to make some changes that are going to build strength and up our exercise regime and be good to ourselves as far as the stuff that we put into our body, so that even at the wonderful age of 56, I can start building some more muscle mass, and this can show up as weight on the scale. And I have to keep reminding myself that it can do that while still going through allergies and balancing my hormones. And it's a hell of a ride. It is. But the thing is, it's funny. It's really funny. And if you forget to laugh at yourself and the things that you're going through, you are in a serious heap of trouble. So take a look at them from a story point. If you were going to be talking to another person about the times when you were really intelligent and the times I was a total idiot, I'd probably win on the idiot side. Where would you come in? Put that down there too. But it does make for good stories, and it makes for some good lessons. And having a philosopher type thought process. I think it's good for that which I am doing for the world right now, which is being here with you and doing my journey and hopefully hearing some about yours too. So, add when at all possible to quit. And never do a talk show with hot sauce. So today, we're going to remind ourselves it's okay to screw up, it's okay to make a mistake, and it's okay to say no to hot sauce. And to remember that our change happens in a much more positive and a better way when we decide to add instead of remove. And might not work for things like cigarettes and booze. You quit those. But for eating, which you have to do, add healthy, and eventually the other stuff gets pushed out. It's a wonderful philosophy, and I'll probably go over it hundreds and hundreds of times because it changed the way that I see everything. When you finally embrace that that's what it's about, it does, it changes everything. So we're going to start off our intestines, which is also our sexual organs. This is about desire, okay? I desire a Three Musketeers bar. Well, I thought I did, but I don't really, Anyway. And so this part of my body is going to choose which part stays. This highly saturated fat doesn't know what to do with, so it's going to pop it right here into the belly, which is already round enough. And it's going to make it harder for me to move and bend and stretch and then my brain is going to say, okay, do you really want that? And then it's going to release things, and it'll be a moment, maybe a whole minute, that it takes you to eat a chocolate bar. And then a very long time for your body to release the effects of that chocolate bar. So our desire based upon, and then our body, what do we keep? What do we throw away? Do we even recognize this and know what this is or not? And that's all right here. So we're going to start in our sacral, which is orange. And we're going to do some attaching to our thought centers here, where we're thinking outside the box. Now, outside the box is anything that we are not regularly doing on a daily basis. So if you are changing from, say, a bag of chips to a bag of trail mix for your afternoon snack, that is going to be chips. Trail mix! What the hell are you doing? To your brain. So when we put these two together, first of all, our gut's going to help tell our brain, you remember what happened last time, don't you? Mm-hmm. You really want that to happen again? I don't think so. And then our brain is going to say, oh, well, maybe that's not really what I want. And our desire center is going to say, ooh, but you know those almonds and that little bit of chewy from the raisins? That sounds pretty good. And your brain's going to say, yeah, it sounds pretty good. And then you're going to get it. It's going to go through. It's going to give you things that you need, a fiber, and it's all going to start working. And then all of a sudden this craving for that bag of chips is gone. So, starting off in orange, feel the energy of this part. I mean, our intestines choose what we keep and what we don't out of everything that we put into our body. And they're affected by emotions just as much as the other centers of our body. They've actually found neurons, them brain thingies, neurons in the lining of the intestines, as well as in the lining of the heart. We have 3 brains that are all working together all the time, helping us to make decisions for ourselves in this entity. Very cool. So when you say your stomach has a brain of its own, or your organs, it might be true. Okay, back to orange. Bring it down, connect to the earth in red. Feel the grounding, feel the solidity. Pull yourself back up. Choices, ego, heart, self-care, voice, and a wonderful dropping of the box so that there are no more box edges. And we can think about healthier options that we want to put in until those bad ones fall out. And then connect to the higher, better wisdom, more love, less crap. Pull ourselves into our mind palace. Calm, a tornado. And let's watch the process. Pick some you love, nachos. Have a nacho, and then watch as it goes down. See the different areas, and then see it getting kind of gunked up and then there's that little bit of, ooh, what is that? And see it getting caught up, and then see our system getting caught up, and see ourselves fatiguing because so much work is being put into just figuring out what the hell is in that we're not getting any fuel out of it. I mean, other than maybe a little kick. Ooh, food's coming. Ooh, what the hell's that? And then feel the discomfort of it all binding everything together. And now let's take a very nice ripe peach. Let's take a bite into that and feel the juice on your face and wipe it off. Feel the sweetness and the chewing. The texture of it is really meaty. And then let her swallow that. And we made sure it was organic, so it didn't have a bunch of crap on it. And then it goes down, and it goes through, and it gives some good stuff over here, some good stuff over there, and over there, and over there. And it starts running its way through, and it starts picking up with its fiber all this stuff that was left behind from the nachos, and starts cleaning things out. And then it makes what comes out at the end a lot easier to take. With both our sacral and our third eye, we're going to open up to wanting those things that interact with my body better. And the choice, even if it's not what we normally take because we're used to what we do, we're going to let the choice present itself right along with the habit choice so that we have a choice. And then you as a person decide in that moment, which way am I going to go? And you don't always have to be perfect, and you don't always have to go the right way. It's about building new habits, about letting the good fill you so much that it replaces all of the bad. By taking a moment to think about what it is that we do to ourselves and how that affects us and how we act. You can only get drunk so many times before you get sick. You can only smoke so many times before you get disgusted with your own smell. You can only do these terrible things to yourself so long until you decide that it is just a better choice to do something else. And you are in a position now to make that choice. Go ahead and come back out. Go forward. Choice is yours. And if you screw up, okay, you screw up. Do it next time. It's simple. Namaste.